Hello, hello, and welcome to my first match of the elimination portion of the hand mix tournament against Not Too Bad. The format is, I think, first of 2.5 with the tie, the sixth game thing going to second player, whatever tie rule, typical thing. We have discard activations, but not a lot of ways to discard, just guide, which is pretty crappy for that. I mean, maybe you can do it with, maybe it worked, but probably a little better with Village Green than Faithful Hound. You basically just, yeah, the hound, kind of weird. No trashing, so cursing is gonna, well, there's banish. But still cursing is probably quite good here. And probably Soothsayer is okay. I mean, like, what are you doing besides getting money and buying provinces? I don't think it's, I think I agree with this opening to go for the getting the 5. I'll probably take a Soothsayer. I'm assuming that's what they're doing. I don't know exactly what their hand is, of course. Okay, never mind, they're not doing that. Okay, doing the old double banish, as we call it. We don't call it that. They did draw 5 coppers right off the bat, which I guess is pretty likely. I guess one of the hands will have 5 coppers. Well, you can. Anyway, it looked pretty good. I mean, I'm gonna curse, I guess. Well, maybe not even first. I'm not sure the Faithful Hound is all that good for them though. So, they may do a big banish. They did get Faithful Hound was. I mean, I don't know if they drew the Soothsayer dead or not, but to get the, I don't think they drew the Soothsayer dead either. So they got a card off my Soothsayer, then their Faithful Hound didn't draw a Soothsayer, and they got to banish 5 coppers, which is a pretty good turn, I would say, all things considered. You can try to banish estates here. Okay, not with a curse in hand. Oh, that's ugly. Yucky. I don't know how many coppers did I have. I don't think I could have. Oh, right, because he has the. I hope he turns keep bad cards in exile on. Not great. Okay. Better. So I did win the curse split. And I could banish 2 or I could save and buy silver. Banish 2 estates is probably pretty good. I mean, I could save and buy. Oh, a scepter or something. So I got 4 curses, 6. Yeah, I don't know how often we're gonna want to banish curses when you know they just throw them back in. I mean, it still might make sense at some points. My next hand is a bunch of junk, right? Feels like I can get a bigger banish, but this may be a point where I just buy the silver. Because this is all my coppers. So it's not like I'm going to be able to. I wonder if they'll get this engine off the ground or not. Could take a guide, is not crazy. Where was it? Why did. Oh, he saved. I couldn't figure out why his hand was bigger. Makes sense. I do get to put in the curses before a shuffle, so that's nice. Um, this isn't gonna make a curse miss a shuffle. Could well, I guess I could banish the curses, and I mean he's gonna play his 7 eventually, but they wouldn't be in the shuffle. I'm not sure how to rate that consideration. Actually, I think I would rather save the gold. Um, Hopefully this next shuffle isn't too good. Oops, miscounted. Got confused. I. Ugh. They're a little up on gold, so um There may be some points where I can think about. Why does my hand suck so bad? This is a very nice guide hand. Okay. Pretty good. Obviously, you'd rather get to play the guide. Okay, that's not so. I don't know how to balance buying duchies versus. What am I trying to say? Versus saving golds to get provinces, basically. I think he thought his hero was gonna activate and just quick clicked gold. That's the only thing I can really think of. Which card do I want to miss the shell? He just played his Coven. His Coven's not in there, so in theory I might get to shuffle once before. So there's some odds that a banish on curse happens. Maybe not super great, but something. Here I don't even have a copper, so I can't save the gold. Pretty funny. It's pretty bad. So, are estates worth it? I mean, clearly for me at this point, estate is worth it. I don't really know that the save matters very much. They still have a tragic hero, so there's some world where they can like double duchy or something. Could be good for them. Hard to call guide on this hand. Well, maybe harder than hard. No, this hand it can call. Hopefully they just miss duchy. They do have a guide, so presumably they didn't miss it because they didn't call. I mean, I guess I'm at this spot where I have to hit both the provinces, pretty much. If I had gotten the I guess I can hit one and we can empty something else. That's the other option. Probably he just gets there now. Well, you would think if he was there, you'd be able to click it pretty quickly. So probably not. Probably looking for what the save should be, which I assume they just have a gold they can save. I mean, I'm going to. I mean, I have essentially two options. One is to save a gold and leave the guide and then go into the shuffle, or just try and win now. The question is, I mean, I haven't been tracking their deck at all, so I don't know if, saving, they saved a gold here for sure, I would say. And since they didn't call guide. The nice thing is that the guide and the save, I guess, for them are kind of anti-synergistic, though I'm going to have a similar issue. I mean, I probably can still save a gold anyway. So it feels like I should probably go for it. That wasn't it. Well, okay, we'll see if they draw it or not. They're thinking about guide. They must not have it in hand because they're considering guide. Or at least it looked like they were. Alright. Yeah. I mean, they got better banishes and I got more curses in. And then, of course, at the end, it's going to be a kind of a crapshoot for who actually draws the $8 hands or even the $5 hands. I mean, there were like some tactical things you could mess up there, and I probably did. But it's like, it's hard to see if they mess them up because they're all about like hand management for save and like deck tracking. So it's really hard to tell if your opponent is like doing them wrong. And it was hard for me to tell if I was doing them wrong because I wasn't paying attention to my deck very well. But the choices there are all in like knowing what your upcoming hands can be and what save, I guess. And sometimes you still just don't have like an actual choice. It's like pretty clear what you need to do. So can open like Jack Hamlet or Jack Secret Cave, research, whatever, research Secret Cave, research guide, over. There's a little bit of curse drashing this time. It's not super strong, but it's there, and the torture attack can be mitigated a number of ways here. So tortures don't look that scary, though. Of course, you're probably playing with them just because they're your draw, and the tech isn't nothing. It's just there are ways around it. It does muck with squirreling, which is pretty nice to muck with. I think I'm gonna go Jack. And then I'm not sure between these two. Should be Hamlet or Secret Cave. I mean, it could be. Hamlet gives you some flexibility because there are 2s and 3s, so you may get a $2 or $4 plus buy hand that you can use, or even a $5 is possible with Jack. Like if Jack is on top of my deck, I'm probably gonna get to $5. Well, Hamlet doesn't give you money, so that's not really true. But so scratch that. But it's nice to do the cycling anyway. Make it 3, make it 4, make it 5. Just not really that. They go the Secret Cave, which, like I said, is also, in my opinion, a completely reasonable looking buy. I have to think of whether I do the Lurker or go for like a second Hamlet. Because there is something to be said for I guess the lurker can always be a squirrel. It's not as committal, maybe, as otherwise might be. I don't want to trigger on this, do I? I kind of need to play it by ear on this. I guess the lurker probably should be squirreled and just buy a. Well, it's either. I think first 5 is probably either Coven or Outpost. There's definitely something to be said for trashing here. Outpost is looking. Outpost actually looks like a pretty nice wish gain. Outpost and Torture look like pretty nice wish gains. Maybe your research even. Okay, they get a lurker. Sort of about just having the threat. Ooh, this is so beautiful. This is so nice. The lamp is in here, right? So I have an activation in hand, basically. That's not guaranteed, but no, wait, it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be guaranteed. You know you'll draw coppers. I guess you can figure out. You can just come up to the end of this shuffle is pretty good. Not trigger if that possible. I guess if you draw the lamp right off the bat, you can do it in a pretty nice way. How do we do this? Jack draws up to 5. Maybe something to not. Yeah, we really just want to get to the end of this shuffle and activate. We want the Jack to draw either 1 or 2. I guess we can just head for 2. So we want to have 4 cards in hand. When I play the Jack, do it like this. Then squirrel this thing. Yeah, that was a turn. This is a sick board. Okay. This is double Hamlet, right? Because we're getting wishes in. I keep feeling like it's like a menagerie board. Like I see this hand and I think I'm going to activate menagerie. That's going to be for another game, I guess. This is a wild board, actually. This is maybe early to play the secret cave, but I feel like I want a little more information here. Don't need to get by for this dude. Okay. Get another. They may have their jack or whatever, and it might not matter. Okay. So we didn't get to the outpost, or to the wish that would have been an outpost. That's okay. We still got a ton of money. Something to be said for Hamlet. Hamlet something. Guide eventually would be good. We know there's a wish in here. I don't know which one, which direction this is supposed to go. Oh, that was a terrible turn for them. I think I'm just gonna put in something I don't care about them getting another copy of. I'm trying to get the. I mean, I guess I can put something that I hope I get. I'm gonna put in a secret cave. That seems like the most harmless thing. I was just hoping I drew a Hamlet. I didn't draw a Hamlet, but that's okay. I think here we're gonna go ahead and get the outpost of the guy now. We'll probably get up to a decent hand size here. I mean, obviously we're starting from pretty low. They don't have a guide, so we can find the other torture. We do some decent. I guess we're not going to get to the torture. This shuffle is a little iffy, right? Let's not do it. Just because of the Hamlets, it's nothing else. Otherwise, the shuffle is pretty much just fine. Okay. I've trashed all my curses, I think. So the jack is now a little less exciting to play. I mean, it's still okay to play. We could probably get this thing activated this time if we wanted to. Accidentally. I don't know who's host now. We may need a new table. Hey, Libby's host. Okay. Well, A Libby was gonna do it for us. He was gonna do it for us too. What a nice person. I'll use it. I use in honor of him. In honor of A Libby, I use the kingdom that he rolled. All right, so if I win another game, or even tie another game, I guess I win. So I can take a tie here. I mean, this is gonna be menagerie, just all over the place. You can do some Watchtower stuff, but probably menagerie is just a lot quicker. Anyway, I mean, you could have a Watchtower for sure. That wouldn't be crazy. I don't know if it's worth. Mill looks like easy. I don't know if it's worth getting an Exorcist later or not. It's actually going to be, I think, pretty hard to compete with Mills for a while on 4. I think they're super good, and even it's a lurker. I'm not super in love with the lurker, but if we draw Festival, I'll lose my mind. The thing is, I can always top deck a lurker if they put something good in the trash. At least this turn anyway. And then future shuffles, there's always just a chance that I shuffle into it first. Still can find it. Still can find that festival. Ah, that's life. I'm gonna shuffle even though it's probably gonna draw something dead. I mean, draw. That's fine though. Right now, I like my deck better than theirs. This is pretty nice for them though. It's another lurker. Yeah. All right. I mean, they'll probably get this festival. I guess there's a question of whether I should even try to get it. I mean, it's not horrible to have some bet, but I don't really want 2 lurkers, so maybe we'll just let them have the lurkers for now. This shuffle is. I don't know how far exactly I want to draw into this. Because the trigger is pretty bad. Unless I find the menagerie and activate it. This is just an estate, yeah. I do have a points lead, which I guess is not nothing. We could do the lurker. Guess I changed my mind. This is pretty depressing. Get a vault here? It's a little hard to take vaults over festivals. I mean, this deck will run with 4 festivals fine. 3 or 4 festivals just fine. So very, very heavy lurker. That's too many, in my opinion. Doesn't have as enough. Doesn't feel like anyway. Maybe it's just bad shuffles. Doesn't feel like they have enough discard stuff to make the menageries work. Trash is a legionary. Legionary seems awful. Frankly. This shuffle is also a bit trouble. Guess I could take the legionary. I can't shuffle this. This is 2 estates and 5 coppers. Too bad we don't have a way that we can use here. Legionary is probably not the worst thing for me to take. I don't really want it, but I only have 1 menagerie. I have 2 menageries, right? I have 2. Now would be a decent time to have another festival. But also this looks pretty good. I don't think the spirits work in this deck. To do a whole lot. That's funny. I guess I could toss them. That's probably wrong. Gotta be wrong. It was a funny miss, though. If we draw copper here. Okay, we didn't draw copper, so this is still a great turn. This is, of course, a little bit sad, but so be it. Well, it's not sad for me. I mean, it's sad that the vault will probably enable them to do an activation. That's all I meant. This is way more money than I can, well, than I really probably want to use here. I could go Festival Mill. Festival Mill Province isn't crazy. Maybe it should have been Menagerie. Good turn for them here. I don't know why they want a legionary so badly. Like, I just don't get it, but I'm just hoping to run piles. Like, lowering is pretty scary for them. I have 5 gains. I don't have 5 gains, but I have 4 gains and a lurker trash. So, like, lowering for them is fairly scary, I think. Like, you can't take menagerie. I mean, you can, but can't really take lurker menagerie. So you can take like a festival, but you can't really take a lurker. Or I wouldn't. We find, and I guess I might as well toss on. It's not gonna. We find a menagerie. We're still in good shape. Okay, should we take a duchy? Should we lower and take a duchy? There's also a lot of mills, which is sad. Okay, this should be okay. Maybe. Well, quite a number of coppers, so it wasn't too bad. Fortunately, I'm still up by points. I think the vault should be really good for me. I mean, this hand will province at least. It may not. It could stop on some things without moving around the shuffle. I guess I could have. See, putting like festival in is a little scarier because they can use it. They can pick it up. So. I guess the festivals are lowered too, so they're picking up the lurkers, which to me is kind of scary, but no, it's not clear to me it helps them draw through deck in any way. Like there's some arguments with the menagerie, I guess, and of course it gives them better in-game play or in-game control, I guess, but not like not a wild amount of it. They're gonna double. Well, they probably don't have 3 coppers. Double looks unlikely. I'm totally fine with playing this game where I just like if I can double province once and then get another single province just being kind of out of range points wise. I don't feel like I have to do a pile out at all. If I keep having, good enough turns that buy a province or a province and a duchy or if we can get a double province hand this turn, like that's just so many points. Their deck can't hold duchies. Not without a vault anyway. And even then, it's hard to, you can't draw consistently. How many coppers did they end up trashing? Just a couple. Yeah, I mean, I'm basically banking on the mills for draw or for cleanliness, I guess. It was sad to see however many mills I saw here. That wasn't good, but I did get 5 of them, I think. So there should still be another one in the deck. He's just going for a win. Maybe I just left a straight up easy win. Getting too fancy with putting the lurkers in. I assume it works. I assume they counted it. So I assume it just works. But I guess I don't know for a fact that that's the case. They're not playing it very quickly, which would suggest it didn't work. But maybe they're just double checking math. Right. But it didn't work. So now we're just kind of in that range of just it's a crapshoot. If I don't have a menagerie or a festival on top here, my turn is suddenly noticeably worse. Now it's a lot better again. There's gonna be a vault in here. I guess there's some world where I can pile out. I don't know if there's another menagerie. Okay. Gotta toss the legionary, right? Depends on what I decide I want to do. If I want to try to win. I only have 1 lurker. What am I got here? 6. 7. I do just have double in hand. Just kind of appealing. How many festivals? I have 3, so I have 4 buys. There is a win if I find the lurker in the festival. Problem is, of course, that I trigger this shuffle with all the junk in it. I have to find both lurker and festival. But then it's pretty easy finish. I'll have the money. There's not a lot of menageries though, right? It's just mills in there. I may end up being able to double anyway. There's that. What was my turn like before this turn? No menagerie. This is all the menagerie. I don't know what the last card is. That could make a big difference in this consideration. Treasure revival. It feels better just to take the double now and see if they can double. The only bad thing, of course, is that I'm vaulting them. They probably activate. Let's just go for it. I talked myself into it. I don't know what this last card is. That could make a difference. The lurker? Do we draw? Okay. We did still double. So that's pretty okay. I think. Now this and isn't very good. They probably will double. I think they'll probably double. What sucked was I did have a menagerie. Right? That was what my last card was. Yeah, so I did have a menagerie on the bottom. So I think it made sense, because if I find like any of the mills, of which there were 3 in there, I probably activate a menagerie and have a reasonable shot of getting to the stuff. Or, it's not like, obviously I still got 7 cards in this shuffle, so it was still a big shuffle. There's some chances. Or decent chances. The thing that was questionable was that I didn't actually know that the last card was a menagerie. Early they had just 16. I mean, maybe they needed to do the lurker thing. I guess they didn't. Okay, they needed to do it. All right. Fair enough. Okay. On to game 4. I don't know what my chances were overall in that shuffle I made, that reshuffle I did, of actually finding both pieces that I needed. It couldn't have been that bad. This is gonna be bounty hunter stuff. Maybe double tack. It's not the most exciting double tack in the world, but it probably works. There's a couple of double tack things. Alton Storm. I think you can build that big. You can double 4. That's pretty good. Well, I can. Maybe they can do 3-5. 3-5. 4-4 seems better than 3-5. I think a little bit anyway. I don't know if I take another bounty hunter or just Shelters board is a reasonable reason for taking double bounty hunter, certainly. I'm not sure how big you can go here. Maybe able to get up to like where you're buying province estate might be doable as your double tack maneuver. Haunted Woods attack looks just super awful here. This obviously isn't the exact split I was hoping for. Okay. And I still have 4 here. Thank you, Mule. I guess one fear here is that you're I don't know about the horse traders. That your deck isn't quite big enough. I just did that for the sheer excitement of it. I'm gonna mule both of these. If I hadn't coppered on the start, I wouldn't. But well, it is quite sad to have not found the tactician. They don't have a vault. We should be close to golden. I haven't played vault double tack in years. This used to be a thing you could just do on like ISO days. It's such a fun deck, but like honestly, I haven't done it in so long. So we can set aside one of the compers. I mean, obviously, we can just do 4. That'll be less confusing. I think that's right. The squire, it doesn't really matter. We mule it or not. I think the deck will be golden next turn. It wasn't strictly golden here yet. I think maybe after the next after the next province it will be. Since I drew vault, it's sort of conditional on drawing vault, I think. I'm not 100% sure. May also depend on drawing conclave here. They're obviously I'm gonna be a card short, right? So there were some things that could have not been drawn that would have prevented this turn from being good. But I already have enough of them in hand. That's not the case here. There is like double province possibility, I think, if I bounty hunter strictly for cash, maybe this turn. Later on it'll get a little harder. Maybe the play to do it. I don't think their deck is golden at all. Yeah. Just because we could try to double here. Maybe I'm not sure if it works. I think they probably missed province at some point. I'm gonna check, see if there is double. So if we do both bounty hunters for cash, we'd be up to 6. 8. No, okay, that's definitely not a double. At least not while playing tactician. The thing is that the 2 cards for $3 is not very efficient, really. Anyway. You didn't have to really worry about. I guess as long as you have 2 cards that can be bounty hunter, the amount of money available isn't really changing. You could add so how many cards? I tossed 2, I exiled 2, and I'm buying 1. So next turn, if I see the vault, I guess I'm never really golden because I can always miss the vault. Maybe I need a warehouse. I don't know that I'll get it. I guess I'm not golden. I'm not golden until I literally have just a smaller deck than I currently have. Do the warehouse. Yeah, this is our problem. There's 2 ways I could do this. We can lose the neck. Well, we're gonna replace it with a duchy. Yeah, unfortunately, this is kind of required. Or whoops, I don't want to mule that. I still think I should be in a winning position. They're able to follow, I guess, on the duchy. Maybe. I might be able to get to double by putting in silvers. Still have their necro. That's the only thing I can think of. But I guess that has its own problems. Or wait. I've confused myself. What do I want to set aside? 1, 2, 3. I don't know if I can double. Silver helps. I can bounty hunter 2 uniques. Let's count. So I didn't put a bounty hunter aside right. We can bounty hunter duchy and tactician. That's 6. We get everything else is $1. Let me count. So this is 1, 2, 3. That's 6, 8. Just 7. I think I've counted correctly. Enclave, so that's 8. Shoot. It is just 7. Well, rats. I'll count again. Bounty hunter tactician, bounty hunter duchy. That's 4 cards for 6. It's hard for me to track this visually. That's $6. I guess I can also count it by doing the squire. The squire could also be exiled. It's the same thing. Okay, so this says there's 2, and then this would be 6. That would be 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So can't do that. Long story short, we can't do that. We can add another silver. And be ready to do it next time. While buying, well, threatening it. Ready to do it is a bit of a stretch. Should we try a double Dutchy? I guess is the question. Can we even? That's not clear to me. 1, 2, 3. So we're at 5. 6. We can set one thing aside. We're still living or dying by... Actually, sorry. Maybe they'll let me... Maybe I can set 2 things aside. Sorry. I'm not sure if this works out. 1, 2, 3. That'll bring me up to 5, and then bounty hunter to... Okay, yeah, that would probably be better. Will I have the action from that, though? I will. Do we add another? We set 2 aside. We gain into... We've broken even again, so with the bounty hunter. This time we will have enough. Still do squire and tactician. What we gotta consider the other things that they can do though. So if they go like province, duchy, they can't do that. Province estate, they can't double. Or we're gonna assume they can't double, otherwise this just fails. If we see vault, we're okay. If we don't see vault, we're not. Right? Basically, they go province estate, we can go province duchy. I think this is it. I mean, we could get... Do we make it if we add a warehouse, or does that mess up the money? Because if we add a warehouse, then we could bottom deck, you know. I think we don't buy anything. These are super cool decks. Didn't even get the tack down, so we're good now. I mean, we were good regardless. We were good regardless because we had the ball in hand. What do I have in the exile now? Right, so I have to do tactician and squire for my thing. So it'll be 4, it goes 6, 10, 16. All right. Oh, man. Oh, that was a neat board, actually. All right. Thanks for watching. Glad I advanced. I'll see you for my next match. Bye.